epic story, a warrior turned freedom fighter, and a fight till death. Hi, my name is Amy Vishwanatha, and you are watching Indian Movie Music Lover. So I finally did it, and I am happy that I did. I watched Krantiveera Sangolli Rayanna. And I must say that I was so engrossed in the movie that I did not budge from my seat through the entirety of it. This movie was first suggested to me by dboss Superior and then by D13055, both on Twitter. I was told that this is Darshan's best movie, so I was ready to watch since I enjoyed Navagraha so much. So let's get to my thoughts. This is another movie that grabbed my attention from the very beginning. And in all of these years of hearing about freedom fighters in India, I had not heard much about this at all. But as I told my husband, I should have realized that every state in India probably has its own story and its own heroes that paved the way for others to feel emboldened enough to also take up the fight for freedom from the tyranny that plagued them. The story, as I said earlier, completely captured my attention from the beginning. And knowing that this has a historical impact behind it made it all the more appealing to me. I wanted to see, hear, and feel the emotions of this history. You know how engaged I get in movies, right? If you've watched any of my videos, you know. The only complaint that I think I would make regarding this movie would be, I think it's more at the beginning of the movie, was the repetitiveness of some lines, especially from Queen Chennamma, but that's more of a preference on my side. So the first thing I would like to say about Darshan and his role here would be that after watching this movie, I don't think I could see anyone else taking the place of this role. This has been his best acting that I have seen out of the movies that I have watched, which hasn't been many, but I'm not sure I can see him doing better than this. I think that he must have really placed himself in that time period mentally and tried to understand the feelings and the frustrations and the anger that must have been in everyone's hearts during that time due to all that had been done to them. You could see it in his eyes and you can hear it in his voice. And there were times that his character really wanted to act out in a manner that would for sure get them caught if he hadn't listened to the advice of his friends. I think this role was one that was really close to his heart. It seemed personal. It was his state, his people, his land. I feel that Darshan was born in the wrong time period. The costumes designs seem to complement him more than modern day clothes do. It's like he was meant for that time period. Or maybe it was just the colors. I'm not sure, but that's my opinion. The movie started out pretty fierce. And when I say fierce, I mean emotionally fierce, not like a violent fierce. They were ready for battle and they were not going to back down. They had wanted to be a peaceful people, but they didn't want to lose their state, their goods, their livelihoods, or their independence as a people. So this is the first movie in a long time where I did not move from my seat until the very end. I think when a movie is based on historical events that I can feel it more, and in turn I can't pull back until I see some sort of a resolution or an end. I don't know how others felt about this movie, but my attention was held the entire time and I was not bored at all. And to me it felt like it moved quickly, but that could be because I was so engrossed in it. Honestly, I did not like the ending. But with that being said, you cannot rewrite what actually happened in history. I was secretly hoping that the people would rush all those who were holding them back and get all those guys off of the gallows. It was an odd feeling of hope and sadness that I felt, and all those people in history must have really felt it 100 times over what I felt. It's an interesting combination. I will say this movie made me feel a full range of emotions. That means the actors portrayed the characters well enough to make that happen. It's such a sad history, and it was probably such a sad moment for him when the one who takes away your freedom condemns you for fighting for that freedom, saying that you've committed treason while acting in patriotism, accusing you of stealing when everything has been stolen from you and your people, your livelihoods, your jewels, your food, your resources. I cannot imagine what he felt while he stood there listening to the judge condemn him. But I do know that Darshan played out the reaction well right up until the death of his character. I think that this is a movie that anyone with any interest in Karnataka or its history should watch. I do recommend this movie for anyone, actually. And if you haven't watched it due to certain biases, please do watch it and lay your bias aside and watch with an open mind. I think if you do that, you will enjoy this movie and the history that it's portraying. So, thank you, dboss Superior and D13055 for the suggestion of this movie. I did enjoy the watch, and this caused me to read a little more about the history, and I learned a lot more than I thought I would. That is all I have for today. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Please share this with your friends, and as always, have a filmtastic day.